wellness. Welcome to Notes of Renata Rashida. Um, Good afternoon. I know that this upload is pretty late. I had a late start. New moon portal is wide open. So I was deep in practice, setting intentions and whatnot. So yeah, let's just get started. I'm gonna scooch on back a little bit more. Where I live, people, open up their windows and stuff, and I have a neighbor. She's literally sitting right next to her open window, and I don't know. I don't. I don't know. I like to give her privacy, but I also like privacy as well. So anyway, so let's just get right into today's message. Purpose. Now, again, I'm not an ageist, but I will assume that some of you guys are probably older adults. The demographic, I'm just going to assume. I don't really check the analytics or anything. But I'm going to assume that you guys, are maybe not 18 years old. I don't know. However, whoever this message finds, I hope it helps. So in meditation this morning, I came to, I guess, a clarification or a realization about purpose, life purpose, how to find your purpose, what is purpose. And I find that there are always these pivotal moments in our life where we're asked to press pause to ask ourselves, okay, based on where I've been, where I am, and where I want to be, what is my purpose in my life right now? What is the driving force behind what I do? What is the why behind what I do? What is the why behind what I create? What is the why behind how I think or what I believe? What is the why about my feelings? And maybe there are some of you guys who believe that, okay, Naja, why are you spending so much time thinking or reviewing these things? And I will say this, I'm an individual, I'm a human being who, I have to have clarity. I tried the whole mindset of go with the flow, be with the flow. That's a coin term in the New Age community of this whole divine masculine, divine feminine. And if you want to be in your feminine, you have to be in flow because that feminine energy is always in flow. Whatever you choose to believe in, whatever, you resonate with, take it, run with it. But for me, when I was operating from that mindset of being in flow, not questioning why, not really clarifying my intentions, or purifying myself to receive direction. I just kind of went along with the flow. And that worked to a certain extent. I find when you open yourself up to life in that regard, you will be taken down wherever the wind may blow you. And that to me, I think is important. Usually you'll see a lot of young, free-spirited young people with that mindset. They just go with the flow. Or, I've met people who are into their 60s, adults, who still had that kind of, I'm not going to say naivete, but it's a very youthful type of just going with the wind and allow life to just share experiences and take me from this relationship to that relationship, from that career to this career, from this religious spiritual practice to that religious spiritual practice, to this country to that country. I met individuals, young and old, who that just was their MO. That was their vibe, right? And for me, so I tried that out a little bit, my late 20s. I tried that out, that mentality. All right, this thing is way heavy. Wet hair is heavy for dreadlocks, okay? Oh, I just washed it, so pardon. So anyway, but now I'm in my life where, in my womanhood, where I'm being asked to clarify, state your claim, those of you who are into manifestation practices, or you have a paradigm in believing that you're a co-creator in your life, right? You take full responsibility as a sovereign being, that the choices that you make have consequences. Thus, you are accountable and responsible for those consequences that you choose to make, right? That's where I'm operating. That's how I work. I don't like to projectile vomit negative experiences, blaming on, oh, this is the reason why I feel this way is because my mommy, and the reason why I feel like this is because my daddy, and the reason why I feel like this is because all the previous lovers have broken my heart. The reason I live like this or believe like this is because of this boss or this job or this career. I'm done with that. I am done with living a life according to circumstance. We cannot choose. There's a philosophy out there that people believe that we choose our parents, right? Like before the soul manifests or incarnates into this life, we choose our parents already. We choose every bad thing and every good thing that happens to us. And I've been kind of on the fence with that type of belief system, because a lot of horrible things happen to beautiful, wonderful people, right? But then last night I was speaking to a soul sister of mine, and she goes, I heard of this thought, or this belief system where the universe doesn't care if you're good and the universe doesn't care if you're bad. Oh, please excuse that. I'm gonna open up the vent. There you go. There you go. Okay. She stated that she heard somewhere that a belief where the universe doesn't care if you're good and the universe doesn't care if you're bad. It just is, right? And that resonated with me when she said that, because I kind of, in the foundation of it all, I don't believe that there's good or evil. I believe it's two sides of the same coin. What deems something good and what deems something evil is how it makes us feel, how it creates and conducts our current human experience. Based off of how we're feeling and how we're reacting or responding to the experience is what and how we label, it good or bad. Like this feels good or this feels horrible, right? And that's where we dissect and we separate and we categorize and we put good here and evil here and dark here and light there. So back on to, because I want to make sure I stay focused on the topic at hand, purpose. When we start asking ourselves these questions of, why do I believe this? Why do I practice this? Why do I eat this way? Why do I go to bed this way? Why do I get out of bed this way? Why do I feel this way? And now I'm not saying making it a habitual obsessive practice, but using your downtime to just kind of reflect on yourself, it can really clarify and knock out a lot of garbage out of your life. We are bombarded by distractions, we'll be on our solid path where we know it's right for us, right? We know like a certain relationship's right for us. We know that a career choice is right for us. We know that where we live is right for us. And then we're bombarded by life and what life has to bring. And when we're not solid on our why, we become distracted. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing and who you are, right? And that, yes, it's not meant to be fixed. It's not, the human experience, it should never be a fixed experience, ever, right? We're programmed to do this. We're programmed to believe that, okay, you meet that one person that, like Disney is a program that programs little boys and little girls to believe that there's a Prince Charming out there and there's a damsel in distress, and then they meet up and they live happy ever after in a castle. The little boy encompasses that. They take that belief and they go out into the world and they grow, and then life brings what life brings, and they're combating with with reality and with this program. Right? We're told, okay, you're supposed to get married, you're supposed to settle down, you're supposed to have 2.5 kids, you're supposed to pay a mortgage, you're supposed to have your cars, you're supposed to go to college. And it's very fixed reality. It's a very fixed storyline, and life doesn't work like that. We're constantly supposed to be checking in with ourselves and making sure we know why we're doing what we're doing. There is a show with a movie with Jim Carrey in it. I think it's called The Truman Show. And he just starts noticing things in his life where this whole world is circled around him. He is the core. He is the sun in this reality, and everything is built around him. That everyone's actors. Everyone isn't who, they're all paid and they're all acting to play out this TV show. And he finally wakes up, right? Because he never questioned anything until he started to question things. Jim Carrey is really, a lot of comedians, side note, a lot of comedians make fantastic dramatic they do really well in drama because they know the extremes of the human condition. They can really, if they know comedy and they can make you laugh, they know tragedy and they know how to make you cry. Same with Robin Williams, like truly gifted actors out there. But anyway, the movie just is kind of a, when you start questioning things, like in The Matrix, right? When they came out with that in the late 90s, Neo starts questioning things. He followed the white rabbit down a hole, right? So it's just, because I've heard, Naja, you think too much, you question too much, just be in flow. And I am not. There's some new agey bullcrap belief systems out there that can lead you astray. When you can clarify and know your why, the distractions will either get with your program or they're going to bump off. Right? Nicely saying F off. They're going to bump off and leave you be. And I'm not saying like you enforce your way of thinking, your way of existing, your way of being on other people. You influence in a way, whether they understand that you are on a certain trajectory and they can vibe with it and they support that, or they bump right off and move on. And so when you clarify that, when you clarify your whys and why you're with a person, why you're doing a job, why you eat or have a certain diet, why you go to bed angry and upset, or why you wake up depressed and anxious, things begin to make a lot more sense. And in a way, it holds you accountable for your own existence. Okay, and yes, I understand that it's complex. It's way more complex than what I'm making it. The human condition is a complex phenomenon, right? There is no easy answer. I don't claim to know everything. I will never know everything. I'm not on here claiming to be some guru, some sage, some spiritual leader. I'm just here sharing my notes of my own consciousness. I'm here sharing the notes for my own voice, my own personal experience, hoping that it will reach somebody who needs to hear it. That's it. It's not that deep, right? I'm not here to be a savior to anybody, ever. I would never, ever. That's not my thing. But yeah, I find that, man, it takes a while for my hair to grow. I'm sorry, or not grow, but to dry. That's what I meant. So I'm trying to okay. But yeah, I find, that is what is leading me, because we have, desire is a powerful force that we have as human beings. Desire can feel overwhelming. It's a huge driving force behind what we do, good or bad, right? And I'm discovering within myself and within my own experience how powerful it is to state your intention and know your intention. And because that really solidifies your reality, and compared to just blindly following along, blindly consuming trash from the media or from the digital world, blindly eating crap, shitty food, blindly spending your money on things you don't need. It's just, and I'm not knocking that one should not enjoy the pleasures in life, but identify what those pleasures are. Ask yourself what's attracting you to that type of pleasure. Is it an outlet, or is it something for you that fills your cup? I'm one that questions things. Like now, I used to be so open to all types of connections with human beings, from strangers to love interests to opportunities. And now because I'm demanding from myself to clarify why I'm doing what I'm doing, when things approach me, I also get that interaction to clarify what their why is, right? And sometimes you can't know the why. The why doesn't show up right away. The why needs time to marinate. It needs time to germinate. And this, again, all truth needs is patience and time. That's all it really needs. You can't stop truth. It just is, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you all. Pardon the wet hair and the kind of large turban here. It would make a really cool costume though, but wet hair is heavy. And but yeah, let me know what you think about that. Like, it's so important to know your why. And because when distractions come your way, people are like, well, why are you doing it? And you feel sorry, like, this is why I'm doing it. And it's not their job to understand. It's not your job to explain in grand detail why you're doing what you're doing when you know why. It doesn't matter. If someone truly shows interest, they're showing interest to support you or to gain information from you, right? But I hope this message finds you all well and whole, and please share your thoughts or feelings about, your own personal relationship with purpose, and how clarifying your why clarifies your purpose. Has your purpose changed? I know, people in their 50s, 60s, or 40s, 50s, 60s, mainly in their 60s, I've noticed in my interaction with people in that age group, it tends to be very like the priorities shift and change, right? Because to me, your 60s is, mortality follows everybody. We're not promised the next moment of breath, right? Really, we're not promised anything regarding our life and living. However, I noticed speaking with people in their late 50s, early 60s, mid 60s, their priorities shift quite a lot. And it's a huge season of deep reflection, but I feel called to start that reflection now. I don't, like, my priorities have literally changed so much due to life circumstances that I am now, I just feel a lot more solid. And again, I don't know the all. I don't know the end all. I don't have all the answers or solutions to all my problems. I have my fears. I have my anxieties. I'm confident in certain areas of my life. I lack confidence in others. I'm just like you. Like, I'm not. That's one thing with these videos and messages and notes. I'm not here to portray myself to be something I'm not. I can only be what I am at this moment. So another moment I might derail and be all over the place. Another moment I may be solid and grounded. It's just part of the human experience. But one thing I know for sure is with this revelation that I had this morning, it just seems and feels so like, because when she said last night, when she said the universe doesn't care if you're good or bad, it just matches energy. And a lot of us will spend our whole lifetime, punishing ourselves because we feel that we're being punished. And it's all about the realization that we are co-creators in this reality. And when we believe that we're not, or when we're not aware that we're co-creating our existence with the existence itself, it can be very lonely, very isolating, very negative, very like the world is against you, that you fall deeper into the illusion of separation, and you run away from the possibility that you are already whole. And that can really deter what we're meant to get out of life and what we're meant to give to life. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope this message finds you. Goodbye.